The business community in Jinja City want relevant authorities to urgently rehabilitate the Jinja Pier. Their appeal was made at the Central Corridor Multimodal Transport Sensitization meeting in Jinja. Let's have a look.
Jinja City is one of the leading business hubs in Uganda. It is connected to the regional markets by road, rail and water. It is for this reason that the Central Corridor entities are engaging with the business community in Jinja, mainly bulk exporters and importers. The objective of the sensitization meetings like this one is to enlighten them on the key developments on the route and the advantages, with an intention of encouraging them to utilize the route.
The generation which is there is a generation that doesn't have the history of what used to happen. So they think that everything was very bad about Dar es Salaam, but that was not the case. I worked both in Mombasa and I worked in Dar es Salaam. Things used to move. The message is, let's revive. There are promises both sides, more so from the president of Tanzania. When she was in Kampala, we met her, she made promises, and let us take that advantage and have a second route for both our imports and our exports.
William Okello, a board member of Uganda Shippers Council, says improving collaboration amongst port users and stakeholders from both public and private sector will improve business and iron out challenges.
So if we have all the three vessels operationalized, then we know as Jinja will actually be at a big advantage. And that's why as Jinja we want to emphasize that the road network, the road transportation is substituted by the water transportation, Dar es Salaam to Mwanza, Mwanza directly to Jinja.
According to Tanzania Ports Authority, the Central Corridor's multimodal route is efficient, has competitive cargo tariff rates, and lowers the cost of doing business.
It's no longer about the proximity. Using the multimodal way, reduce the road distance that it was a major barrier of using Dar es Salaam port, because everybody will keep thinking that in order for you to use Dar es Salaam port, you must use the road. So now we're using the multimodal system through the Central Corridor, and we're inviting the Ugandan community, the business community.
We are talking about efficiency along the Central Corridor. So even if you're not telling them that we are going to save this much money in a given point in time, you have to draw a logistics plan as a freight forwarder. You do not go in for a one-off.
During the meeting, concerns were raised on the rundown state of Jinja Pier. The pier is a key water transport infrastructure on Lake Victoria, where vessels dock to offload and load cargo.
Because area of operation, which collect a lot of money from people, the road where I passed, it was shameful. So I'm requesting to work on road.
We want to see the talk when they are really putting in action, because we always go to the pier, but you can't find a place of convenience, and you can't even find an office of Uganda Railways Corporation at the pier.
Mr. Okware talked about wagon availability, and I raised it in the presentation. We realized that we have a challenge of wagon availability, and we have requested for more, 200, and by the end of this next quarter, if the loan is approved, of course it's going to be approved because we are at the evaluation level, we are going to have wagons to serve both our clients here in Kampala and in Jinja, because we are having two piers, Port Bell and here.
Constructed on the banks of Lake Victoria in 1912 by the British colonial government, Jinja Pier was meant to ease freight and passenger rail services within the EAC member states of Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda. Sigoa for UBC News in Jinja.